I think this is a really good example of the type of communication that exists between the controls and in Alpha, and in particular on a UX. So here we've got the demo slider component that I took. So it's got slider 1, slider 2, slider 3 as it has in the downloadable component. And I've added a couple of things to it. Min and max text boxes just to hold the minimum and maximum values from a table that we're going after, and a list. Wasn't specified what wanted to be filtered, but so you get a list, of course, because they're the most fun. The list properties. Well, let's just go and have a look at this, and then we'll walk through the whole thing piece by piece. So this fires up. Now, what actually has happened is on initialize in the server-side event, we ran a query against the table to get the minimum and maximum prices in this orders table, and that was and then it's been placed into this slider control. So if I slide these all the way down, you'll see $1.75 was the minimum price in that table, and $353.42 was the maximum size, was the maximum price. And now, so what we've got here is the two control slider, so we can set a minimum price and a maximum price. And whenever you do that, there are values that are set in here that we can take and split out, and I put them in here. And then the list control itself is based on an argument and a filter which looks at the minimum price and the maximum price and just filters the price based on this. And this is a server side filter, or just a filter in the list control itself. And you can see as we do this, it's pretty fast. I think I'd be happy with that. Come down. Yeah, not too bad. So let's go see how we did this. Let's start at the server side. So on dialog initialize, we set up some SQL stuff going on in here. I went and got the primary keys for the parent table. I bound it to that table. No idea why I did that. We don't need that. We don't even need any data binding going on in here. I bound it there. I think I was trying something else. Anyway, so back we go. SQL connections. I'm opening up a table called TBL orders. I'm grabbing the minimum price and the maximum price, and coming back in here, and if I've got a record, then I'm setting I'm grabbing the minimum price and the maximum price, so that's great. I'm then putting it into a pointer array. It's called min-max, so I want one value carrying both, one variable carrying both values. And then I do a var to JSON into character variable, which I'm then going to send out into a dialog object variable in the dialog object namespace. So now I've got my minimum and maximum prices, and then we get out of that. And what happens next? Then we go on to on client side on render complete, and you'll remember that we set our price min max, so that's a variable in there. So now we grab that, and it's a pointer variable, and that kind of acts the same as an object in JavaScript, so that's really cool. So now we've got our minimum and maximum in variables. We go and get our slider control. We set the minimum, we set the maximum, and while we're there, because I set a default value for like a default range of $25 to $75. So while we've got this control, I go and I grab the values that I set, $25 to $75, and I'm setting them into the text boxes for my minimum and maximum, and then I'm doing a refresh on my list orders. But let's come back to that in a sec. So here we are in list orders, and that's our list. Regular stuff going on here in the list, ID, order, and price. Nothing going on in there, but I do set up some arguments. Now remember that we've got two text boxes here that we've set up, and we're filling in those with our minimum and maximum values. Now I've got two arguments, price min and price max, and then these are just pointing to those two text boxes. So there's our minimum and there's our maximum. And then our list filter says with our price greater than or equal to our argument for price min, and the price is less than or equal to the argument for price max. So that's good. So there's our SQL select statement. So that's great. And we'll just jump back into the unrendered or complete. So we set these two values, and then we got to do a little bit of a set timeout here because it takes a fraction of a second for all this stuff to take place. So we allow the refresh on our list box to happen just slightly after all this takes place. And so all this is set. We do a refresh, the filter kicks in, and the list gets filtered. And that's just the first time this happens. That's just on render complete. After that, as you can see, so that's our value, $25 to $75, and that set timeout just happens once. And after that, our list just filters appropriately as we're going along. And this idea can be applied to anything. I don't know if there's a better, faster way to do this or not, but this certainly works, and it was really interesting to go through all the various aspects and pieces of it as well. Thanks for watching.